Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sahari Show. This is the show hosted by Sahari and me to talk about any ongoing reality series, catch up with our favorite contestants and answer all your burning questions. We're on the second episode now. How are you feeling, Sahari?
Shabini, Moonfix Shayla, Zapis Moochie Peachy, Benjip.
Aw, Sahari, how sweet. Thanks for asking. Well, I don't know how many of you watching celebrate Lunar New Year, but it's a big festivity for me. And since I'm so far away from home and it's very difficult to travel back, I decided to bring Lunar New Year to my friends and family here in the States. I cooked 2 huge feasts over the weekend for family and friends, with Nate's help, of course. And there should be some photos here on the screen. It's a big celebration of togetherness and prosperity. And red is the symbol of good fortune for us Chinese. So yeah, we wear and decorate with all the red. Of course! And now let's talk The Sims Amazing Race. Cue the sheet or whatever for episode 3. Well, I knew this was gonna be U-turn leg, and I know I wanted an earlier U-turn leg to create some like drama or animosity within the teams. I'm so chaotic, I'm sorry. I also tried to make new tasks that were not done in the previous Sims Amazing Race, like in Solani of the previous Sims Amazing Race, and I hope I've done that. The detour is like a mix of a skill-based detour, which can be fast or take forever, and a slightly luck-based detour, which can take forever, but it will eventually be done. I think they're pretty balanced, and we saw so many teams like get ahead or fall behind. It was a joy to watch.
Yakalau, you baby Zayaga, Wixana Zarspa.
It was so unexpected, honestly. I really thought Faisal and Rizal or Mackenzie and Johnson would use it, or even Samira and Octavius, cause they were in like the bottom half of the teams. But it was Crystal and Zach, one of the nicer teams. In hindsight, I would not have it any other way, cause I love being surprised. It's unfortunate that Tia and Tia bit the dust, but it also made sense given Malik and Mason's relationship and their placement at the time. And speaking of Tia and Tia, shall we welcome them in? I bet there's a lot of tea to catch up on. Everybody, welcome Tia Adams and Tia Owens, the most robbed team of The Sims Amazing Race 2 so far. Hello Tia and Tia, you both look amazing. First of all, thank you for joining us on the Sahari Show today. How have you two been?
What's up, the Clonor? Lucy! Wolf it up, Sequinario!
Kanumi, Merkel Zero?
Maybe Gobi, Zerf, Flu, Pluzo P, Moochie Peachy.
Aw, that's so good to hear! Not the elimination part though, that was sad to watch. What did you think about being U-turned by Malik and Mason?
Zilnaroy? Oh, any fish Yerogla? Viva Deso! Aminu, Luxapa!
Oh.
Jeffana Divanahu, Benar Pelka. Free but Naya Flu.
Oh, Doda Vepi? The Bishi Panoisa Moik form, huh? Watuni? Nar Divish.
Sounds like you two are at peace with your decision. That is very good to hear. What are some of your favorite challenges on your race, even if your journey was so short?
Ranka, Hispa, Kres Larkim. Axawa, Skiba Glash, Webus.
Viva Deso! Pain Trip, Balafoy, huh? Doda Vepi? The Bishi Panoisa Moik form, huh?
Jeffana Divanahu, Benar Pelka. Viva Deso. Viva Deso Yerno, Varo.
Doda Vepi? The Bishi Panoisa Moik form, huh?
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful task. Well, you actually have a fun little fan question today, and it's directed to Tia Adams. You certainly had a roller coaster of a romantic life on the race. So, random crew fan asks, Kiss, Kill, Marry, Crystal, Wendy, and Samira.
Paparani Squamish, Dasiwa Barlene, Shibi, Chabina. Tej, Lika, Buster Brood. Himba Bleed? Huh? Pana Diola.
Diva, you move.
I'm sure that will spiral up a lot of discussion among the viewers. Before you go, we gotta ask, who are you rooting for from all the teams left in the race?
Who can I game? I'll move. Tupo, Funa, Uchi Peachy.
Maybe, Benet, Avinilis. Bumida Fueno. Mesca. Calgel Derishi.
I love those answers, Diaz. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best in everything that you do from here on out. Thank you for racing with us.
Con Fulibo Daba. Miss Stevie Selena. Shelsh.
Oh my gosh, not so much didn't make the screen in Mount Komorabi, but in Sulani, a lot of tight friendships formed between like the first 3 teams to depart, and then Albert and Ophelia with Crystal and Zach. So I think that will play some part in the future, but we don't know yet, we'll see. One of the Sandcastle ladies also hopped from helping Santiago to helping Faisal. And yeah, that's a lot of autonomous sandcastle making, yeah. And I would also like to point out that the sketching roadblock is probably one of my favorite challenges like so far, because it's like such a fun mix of like skill, logic, and athleticism. It tests the painting skill, their fitness skill, and I have an algorithm to just chart the racers' paths based on their logic skill. That's why you see some racers getting like the sketches wrong or like using a long way instead of like a short way.
Apala Chaba. Heldo Davishi. Minnesota Severano. Mafite Shamagra. Grinoy Foibi.
It was absolutely hilarious to me that Malik and Mason got last in this leg and they got to keep their express pass. I don't think that's ever happened before in Amazing Race history, so it's funny to see it like make history on my channel. I think they're fun villains and they're like a core part of the drama. So yeah. Oh yeah, and the forest spirit that Malik saw like during the roadblock, I was in love with the timing of that. It like perfectly completes the story of like their non-elimination. Like I couldn't ask for a more perfect timing.
Kara Sambisi. Clamp. Bombzoid Jimmy. Candlelight. Lindsay Nurska. Avenue Smithy.
Honestly, can I say I kind of saw it coming? Only Mackenzie and Ophelia have the painting skill beforehand, so I knew that they would excel at the roadblock depending on who arrived there first. I'm honestly surprised that Ophelia got second to last. I kind of thought they would like maintain their 4th place or higher, but I guess the roadblock really stumped them. Mackenzie and Johnson are also front runners in my opinion, so I kind of foresee them in the finale after this, but we will see. Alright, with the episode recaps out of the way, let's get to an exciting segment ahead, shall we? In the 3rd episode, we saw the pink team fall, but our very special guest today is also a pink team that has made it all the way. Not that there are any other pink teams anyway, but we're pleased to welcome our special guests for this episode, Lilith and Angela Pleasant from the 1st season of The Sims Amazing Race. Lilith and Angela! You were arguably the biggest underdog team of the 1st season, finishing in the bottom half for most of the race, but ultimately being the only all-female team racing in the finale. I know it's been a while, but what are your thoughts on your season and seeing it unfold on TV?
Rubin Apala Chaba. Lord Prosh. Waga Fruch. Warba Quest. Zaphis Muchi Pichi. Benjip. Febine Lovo Bonetti.
Rapnut, Mom, Larkham, Linf,
Jensiba? Quexel? Ishib?
Yeah, I'm also sad that I didn't think about this earlier, because that's definitely a lot of ups and downs that we have surely missed when confessionals weren't a thing. Now, some of your fans have been wondering, would you ever return to star in one of my shows? Like Survivor, The Challenge, or anything of sorts?
Kanumi? Merkel Zero? Snubara? Dubna Timfi? Watanini Cha? Taba Fondo Be Bakala? Ibiha Shanisi? Mesplima?
Oh, you two will compete in the season together again?
Kurgadon Yadavel. Bobsini, Nabora, Shazzle? Trangela, Shopsim?
Well, that certainly gives me some ideas. Okay, Sahari? Well, let's talk about the season then. Have you been tuning in? Any favorite teams, favorite challenges?
Wavu, Ruskan Lampima, Muchi Pichi, Canathoy Narble, Milshaba, Grenea.
Well, now that you mentioned it, we do have an idea to spice up this talk show, which we kind of borrowed from many other talk shows. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Okay, that's a little rude, but whatever. Let's play a game! We have set up a little keg in our studio today. Let's see if you two would have done as well as Angela says you would, shall we?
Bobsini, Nabora, Shazzle?
Lilith says kegs are just another Friday night for her, so let's see how she does tapping the keg.
Nova.
Oh, well, sounds like you're out of practice, Lilith. The sisters are gonna attempt a keg stand, just as we did in the Leg 1 detour. And Angela's going first. Ooh, Angela did not have it. Let's have Lilith give it a go now. At least the sisters can lift each other up. They're not good about that, like usually. Oh no, Lilith falls! Oh, sounds like you need to head back to the bar, Lilith. Oh, Lilith insists on trying again. Okay, well, we have all the time in the world, so be our guest, Lilith. Oof. Lilith falls again. I can watch this all day.
Rubina Palachava, Lord Prosh, Olivar, Zamonis Arrow.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for entertaining our silly ideas, Lilith and Angela. Now, to finish off our segment, let's backtrack a little and let me ask you again. Which teams are you rooting for to win this season?
Sensibi Kiniku, Swarspa, Gathara, Tandale, Lindsay Nurska, Miss Stevie Flina, Shelsh, Bethite Pelka, Venu, Henfabi Narble, Franj, Enzanu, Craney, Maya Floof, Sensibi Kiniku, Swarspa, Gathara.
Well, thank you for joining us here tonight, Lilith and Angela. You've been a joy to have, and I don't know, keep your phones open because you may get a call from me eventually.
Yes.
Welcome to the segment that most of you are here for, and you know the drill. We're gonna answer all of your burning questions, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Let's start with a fun one. A little cheese as both of us. If you could pick anyone from the Sims reality show so far to live on a deserted island with, who would you pick? I'll let Sahari go first on this one.
Rubina Palachava, Lord Prosh, Grenea, Ubuena, oh, Kisanoi Suizo.
That's a fun answer. Well, if Nate were a contestant, I'd say him, but since my sim self has no obligations, you know what? I'll say Jeremiah. He's young, he's hot, he's personal to me because I created him, and he probably has a lot of survival skills too, with the big arms and all. If anything, I'll die happy just seeing him. Stop, I can't believe I just said that.
Beshna. Rafa.
Ooh, many sources actually. So for this season, a lot of racers use backpacks by Zion. I think they're the perfect size and they look sporty, and I'm so happy I found this creator. Most of the ladies and Johnson use the Avery backpack by Clumsy Alien, which is also an adorable one. The only caveat is like they only have it on like one side of their shoulder, but we can ignore that. And the backpacks last season that a few racers used this season were the Ellie backpack by Dream Team Sims, complete with the cute Pikachu keychain and all. And the bulky one that Ernest has is from Around the Sims 4. And one more backpack that's carried by Crystal is the Rando Seru backpack created by Karza Lee. And yeah, I will link all these backpacks down in the description below. I don't expect you to remember all that. I hope that helps some of you that want backpacks. Whew, that was lengthy. Let's fire some questions Sahari's way, especially on your past show experiences. Caleb Cook asks, who would you bring to the final two with you hypothetically, Michaela or Zainab?
Seneke, Belindi, Lerna Skuma. Pardu Skidna. Fwashes a breeze. Chelner. Gungane.
Interesting answer. Zainab did have a lot of love relationships with Naoki and Rusty though. You may want to think about that. Ooh, here's another one for ya. Shiloh, I hope I say that right, wonders how do you feel going on the challenge with Big Brother peeps? Was it a new game or did you try to align with them?
Wamba boy Yambalala. Sensibi Kinaku. Swarsta Githara. Shamagra. Sublurf Baroda. Bruhana. Fosanoi Valpim.
I also wish you made better connections, Sahari. Because then you wouldn't have been voted in with like the voting twist. Alright, I'm ready for more questions now. Let's see. Oh, Ricky! So Ricky asks, what are some of the more difficult challenges to film? And if there's any that are cut out for timing reasons or other. Any challenge that doesn't have a stopping point is probably the hardest to film. And hands down, it has to be the soccer detour in Leg 1. I have to manually like watch and pause each team. So like it took like 7 different recordings, as you can see here, because I have to stop, go back and watch and make sure that I counted correctly, and I did. Every other challenge has been okay so far because it's like leveling up or checking some quality of something. And the only thing I had to cut out was a potential debating challenge in Brightchester, which I mentioned in the previous episode of the Sahari Show. And Sahari, Ricky has an additional question for you. If you had to compete with somebody on The Sims Amazing Race, who would you choose?
Ghana Shuna. Thar Benip. Shabini. Woon Fixshima. Ubawana. Oh, Kissanoi Sweezo.
You are so freaking adorable, Sahari. Alright, I think we have some more time, so let's answer as many as we can. Okay, we have 2 people asking us about the drama. Marlon Tyler asked about the brothers versus the half-siblings, and Wilberto Saze asked us about the drama between the Mackenzies. And I personally love it. The fact that I didn't even have to instigate any of the drama is the best part. Like, I didn't know if the Mackenzies were gonna even interact when I cast them together, but they just went ahead and had their bad first impression with each other without me even asking, so thank you, Mackenzies. I kind of already expected Malik and Mason to be villains in a way because of their traits, but I guess the U-turn brought it out of them. I guess this also answers story writers' questions of if I think Malik and Mason are becoming the main villains of the race. Absolutely, it's all working out according to plan. Some more questions for you, Sahari. Lucy Hannah compliments your beauty and wonders how you and your husband deal with being away from each other so much, and if he would ever do reality TV.
Baribi. Dumb say Bruhana. Ubawana. Confulibo Daba. Viva Desu. Stebu Plebo. Pandale. Lindsay Nurska.
You two are so cute. Oh my god, I'd love to have him on the Sahari Show one of these days. Or compete in one of my shows if you're willing to put yourself through that again, I assume.
Bobsini, Nabora, Shazzle, Snoobara, Dubna Timfi, Watanini Choff, Telvajero Umbra, Sigluna Piyun.
Honestly, yeah, it's way easier to be nice than mean, especially in The Sims. So, quick fire questions. Uncle Ty asks if I'm doing duos, checkpoint challenges, and team challenges, and the answer is yes, yes, and yes, all of them. I can't wait to introduce them in the future legs. And Keeper asks, how does Ernest respond to rumors that he's been shacking up with Don Lothario? The what? When did this happen? Lucy Hannah asks, who's more my type, Faisal or Rizal? Faisal, hands down. I love a scruffy man with a nice beard, so kind of like Nate. Ooh, look at me slaying that keg challenge in the background though. So how do I choose the colors for each team? I kind of base them off of what their audition colors are. And by audition, I kind of mean like whatever they were wearing when they're submitted to the gallery. So yeah. Random crew fan asked if I could recruit those sandcastle ladies onto my show. And I will actually combine this with another question by Caleb Cook to recruit the jet ski guy from the challenge. And yes, Ooh, Sahari! Look at you go! Maybe me and Sahari should be a team on The Sims Amazing Race. Okay, sorry, back to the topic. I learned that they're both mermaids that are kind of evil, and I think that's gonna cause a lot of chaos, and I am heavily considering that. Alright, we sure answered a lot of questions this time around. Let's conclude with a question for both of us, Sahari. Carl asks, who do we think needs the prize the most, and who do we think will actually win? I'll go first. I mean, I think needing the prize the most is definitely Albert and Ophelia, cause they still have a bedridden grandma watching this at home. Hope you're doing fine, grandma. Hang in there. But hate to say it, but I think their chances of winning are slim. But hope to be surprised, as always. My winner pick remains to be Santiago and Evander. I thought they were very capable the last time, and now they've gone on to placing in the top 2 back to back. Definitely a contender for the throne. Sahari, what do you think?
Zareki Carduce Guaz Karenzi. Shimagra. Sublur Baroda. Ruhana.
Oh my god, I love that we think alike. Well, that concludes our fan questions for this episode. If you have more burning questions for us, feel free to drop them down below or on my community tab released after each episode. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Sahari Show, folks. We hope you enjoyed our interviews today, and we will see you in the next one. Good night. And if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and let me know if I'm doing a great job. I'm kidding, but I appreciate you. Take good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one, alright? Bye!